Hi, this is David again. I wanted to do a video today. Let me take a look at my notes here on leaving the Mormon Church. If you decide to let them excommunicate you, which is, in my opinion, silly, all you have to do is go to the bishop and give him two notes, lines on a note that says, I want to resign from the Mormon Church. Immediately put a period after it, hand it to him, you're out. That's the law of the land. Now the church never obeys the law of the land. They're going to try to intimidate you. They're going to try to cause fear, and God, they want that tithing. They don't want to lose the tithing member, and that's their main motivation. The church will then take 30 to 60 days to process your claim. It goes to Greg Dodge. It's here in 2011, so if the tape lasts a while, it'll certainly be outdated. But Mr. Dodge looks at your letter, then he sends you a letter back. Now you can do this now by email. There's so many people resigning, the church is just buried with paperwork downtown at the church office building. So you can actually email. If you want that address and information, you can go to recoverymormonism.com and just type in what is the address of the email. They'll give it to you. And that's not an anti-Mormon site. It's just Mormons who have quit the Mormon Church helping other Mormons if they want the help to quit. They don't go on the site. It's that simple. You'll get a letter back from Mr. Dodge, and he will tell you, under the names of the First Presidency, that you have 30 days to make up your mind. It's not true. It's the Mormon lies. You are out of the Mormon Church by the Supreme Court of the United States when you resign. At the moment it's postmarked or handed to an official, you're out. They try to pretend that they have control over you. They love that control. They don't. Don't be fooled with that crap. They don't. But you'll get a letter on church stationery. It comes back and it'll say basically the gist of the letter is that you will have 30 days to make your decision up. We advise you to go see your bishop and talk with him about your decision. If you follow through with this, you will lose your baptism. I don't know if they take a blow dryer to you and just blow the water off your body. I don't know how they do that. You have to physically be baptized, but you can be baptized, unbaptized with a letter. Well, there's the Mormons. They're going to control your baptism. They're going to control your confirmation. They're going to control you. They're going to control your family. And they're going to control your penis and your vagina. And your money. So, you don't have to go see the bishop. That's crap. You like to put that up on the wall. A lot of ex-LDS people do that. But throw it in the trash can, you're out. And in that letter, you'll get a little pamphlet. It says, we want you back. Well, it's a little bit late for that. Once a person has determined that they want to resign, they've done a lot of research. They've done a lot of reading. They've talked to a lot of people, and they've had a lot of meditation. And to send them something that says, gee, you might want to think about this and come back, the church always assumes that you're screwing everything that moves, that you're having an affair, you're smoking, you're drinking. You can't live their standards. That's why you're out. They will never believe that you say, I was an active member of the church, I had a temple recommend, and I was looking at the history and the doctrine of the church. It didn't add up for me. It's not making me a happy person. Oh, that's because you're not wearing your garments and you're not praying enough and you need to pay more fast offering, more tithing. They're going to give you every excuse in the world because a cult trains its members that nobody would ever resign because of doctrine, policies, or procedures. You've had your feelings hurt. Well, the church is perfect, but the people in it aren't. You shouldn't give up your salvation because someone hurt your feelings. No one hurt my feelings. No one hurt my feelings. I just said, I want out of this. It's not working for me. And I don't want my name attached to this organization. It's as simple as that. I have some standards. Well, most of them are very low, but you're out. I'm in charge of me and my life and what church I'm in. You're not in charge of me anymore. Goodbye. They can't take it. Oh my God. They can't take that. Well, you can resign from the church if, they want to excommunicate you. If you say nothing, do nothing. It's just like any court of law. You get served papers and you don't show up. They're going to just excommunicate you. Incognito, or what's the other word? I can't think of it right now. But anyway, you can resign from the Mormon church. Now here is the difficulty. God dang it, it is hard. It is hard because you've been in a cult, like I was, for 50 years. All of your friends, all of your family, all of your acquaintances, your employment, your community, your service in the community, everything is hooked to the Mormon cult. They do that on purpose. They do that on purpose because when people decide to quit the church, resign, they may lose their wife or their husband or their family or their children. They will lose their grandchildren. They will lose their status. They may lose a job, their status in the community. Let me tell you something. You're going to have to stand back and take a look at resigned Mormons. We were willing to sacrifice everything in our lives to get the hell out of that cult. We knew we were going to lose our family. We knew we were going to lose our kids. We're not stupid. We know when we live in an LDS community, you're the black sheep on the corner. We know that. We're not stupid people. In fact, I'm going to go a little bold here, and that is this. The most intelligent, clever, and humorous people are the ones that leave the church. If you're a bozo and you're a loser, God, that church is the greatest thing in the world. Stay right there, because most people will not realize they're bozos, because the Mormons are all bozos. So if you're in a clown act, you're normal. You're normal. Well, that as it may, here's what the real Mormon church does. Now watch my lips as usual. We love everyone. We think that they will stay members because we're the only true church on the face of the earth. Now, that's what they say. Look at what they do. Look at what they do. Research them. Get on the damn internet. Go talk to a Mormon family. Go talk to members. Go talk to non-members. Use your head. Here's what they teach. Subliminally. That's the secret of the Mormon church. If you look at their scriptures and doctrine, who wouldn't want to be a god? Gee, black people and brown people could turn white if they joined the Mormon church. What black person or brown person doesn't go, hey, that might be a deal? What they write and what they say are lies. They're bold-faced cult lies. The underlying, under-the-radar teachings of the Mormon church is what runs that cult. It's not what the Book of Mormon says or the pamphlets or whatever. It's not. It's under the horizon, under the radar. Here's what they teach you. Men, women, children. If you ever leave the church, and this is almost like a seance. It's almost like a cult pay, lay, ale chanting like they do in the temple. If you ever leave us, you will lose your salvation. Jesus will hate you. And when you get to death, you may go to the lowest kingdom and you will never see your family again, and you will not be able to progress into the highest kingdom. You may be a son of perdition. Now, I don't know what the hell a son of perdition is. Okay? The church teaches it's a person who's had a testimony or revelation that the church is true and then turns their back on it. Well, here I am. I'm a son of perdition, and we're going to a new place. The Mormon place, kind of like limbo with the Catholics. We're going to outer darkness. Now, personally, I prefer the condos in the inner darkness, but God, the Mormons are going to put me in outer darkness. Okay. So I still have some old Mormon traditions inside me. I'm still programmed in the cult a little bit. So I decided to make a solar flashlight for all of those that are going into outer darkness. Little money on the side. There's a little Mormon in me. There's still a little scam pyramid. And if you call your friends and they buy a flashlight, you get yours at half price. And we'll just build this pyramid until you all end up losing your ass except the first few that got in it. Well, who wants to be a son of perdition? Who wants to be in outer darkness? I don't know. Are there lights there? Can you see anything? Is it just like closing? I mean, this is like a Halloween movie. Freddy. Outer dark. Something the Mormons invented. I don't think Mitt Romney said anything about Obama probably going into outer darkness. He's in skin darkness right now, but he'll probably progress into outer darkness. Well, that's scary shit when you're a human being and this great big huge multi-billion-dollar corporation and these guys in suits say you're going to lose your ass in outer darkness, your family, your kids, your salvation, your ability to be happy in this life and the next life. You got to give got to keep it clean, a lot of thought. A lot of thought. Do I really want to sacrifice what they're saying so I can have my freedom? So I can have free agency? So I can live my life? Most Mormons are, number one, too stupid. The other third are probably too afraid. And there's a few of us, probably, I think it's between 15 and 20%, resign every year. It's over 100,000 a year is the best guesstimate because everything is secret in the Mormon church. Everything is sacred. Their money, their temple rituals, what they say, what they do. And you're just a damn zombie. And boy, if you step to this left or right as a zombie, your ass is out. And you lose your whole life. Gosh, does that sound like a cult to you? Somewhere in the back of my mind, in my education, I just feel like maybe that's some cult tactics. Now, here's the cleverness of their doctrine. They're really almost the par excellence cult. They've got you covered mentally, physically, emotionally, financially. If you leave us, you will do poorly. You will have no cars. You'll have no houses. You will be hungry. You will be standing at the freeways with a sign that says, "We'll work for food." No women will want you because they know that you have been banned and shunned from the Mormon church, and so you're dog shit. No woman is ever going to date you again or try to marry you, or man, and you're a loser. You couldn't live their standards. I don't know what you did, but it must have been really bad because they excommunicated you. The Mormons have a phrase, and I love it. It's a true phrase, that if you leave the Mormon church by resignation or excommunication or otherwise, kill yourself, which many of the gays do, if you leave, you will be kicking against the pricks, P-R-I-C-K-S. Now, I'm old, but I remember high school. I remember people calling other people pricks. And what does the Mormon church mean by that? I think they mean it's like cactus. You'll be kicking against the pricks of a cactus. In other words, your life is going to be shit. You're going to get nothing. You're not going to progress. The Lord is going to turn his back on you, and Jesus is basically going to take your name off of the book of life. Well, I got a little bit different twist on this. When I got out, I indeed was kicking against the pricks. They were called bishops. They were called stake presidents. I remember I went over to a big meeting, I forget, a regional meeting or something, and I wanted to see a bishop who was the local bishop of the area that I happened to live in. And they found him, and I had 2 girls with me, and we went in an office, of course private. Now, they will always stand over you or sit on a table, but their head is above yours. Now let me tell you, I'm an expert in psychology. I know human behavior. I know nonverbal communication. I've studied it long and hard. When the person, like a judge, is up and they have a robe on and a gavel, and they're the only ones that can have a gavel, and a flag, and a seal of the state, shit, you're in God's presence. These bishops and these stake presidents have learned that. So they stand over you, or they sit above you, and then they smile, and they say, well, Mr. David, what is it that you wanted to chat about? And I said, well, Mr. Bishop, I said, I've told your missionaries on several occasions, and your stake president, and now I'm telling you, I don't want you people knocking on my door. And I don't want you posting anything on my door that has to do with the Mormon Church. We in our family consider you a cult, and we want nothing to do with you. Would you please respect our free agency and leave us alone? Oh my God, you don't say that to a bishop. Well, you don't if you're a member, because they can control your ass. If you're a non-member, when he stood up, I stood up. He says, we're not the problem, you're the problem. I said, oh really? That I want my privacy, and it's a private residence, and I'm asking you to keep your religious people off it? It's my problem? Yes! And if you would repent, and if you would come back in, you would see that you are being evil. And I said, listen, my two girls are right here with me, and I think they have a perfect example of how you act in the Mormon Church and how you treat people. Sir, you don't have any control over me, and if you knock or your people knock on my door again, I'll sue your ass. I can't be more clear. I got up, took my two girls, and walked out. Well, then I went over when they knocked on the door again, and I saw them tracting again, and I went to the city attorney. And I said, Mr. City Attorney, don't you have a non-solicitation law? Oh yes, yes we do. And I said, well, I've called President, State President so-and-so, and the mission president, and they said, you know, that they would obey and keep their people off of my property, and they haven't. Could I initiate a complaint? Well, let me look the law. Well, I'm not too... is that President Smith over there? I go, yeah. Oh, I know President Smith because he was in the state presidency with him. The city attorney. Oh, I'm going to get justice. Oh, I'm going to get it up the butt. I'm going to get Mormon justice, Mountain Meadows, Day-night justice. Well, long story short, he writes me back and says, no, we're not going to do a thing about it. We do have a solicitation law. However, they're not soliciting. See, that's how Mormons get around the laws. They do not obey the spirit or the letter of most laws unless it's to their convenience. Like the IRS. They don't have to pay taxes. Oh, we'll obey that law. So, now, these are my little bit younger days. I don't have time to fight the great Satan. So anyway, I wrote to their state president, and I threatened to sue him. Well, 2 weeks later, I get this famous law firm down in Salt Lake City that wrote me back. And basically, those attorneys are brainwashed, and they get a lot of money from the Mormon Church for the Mormon Church to skirt the law. And so they said to me, basically, that the Mormons don't solicit. And I said, well, I'll tell you what. When a missionary in a Mormon religion asks for 10% of your income for the rest of your life, your gross income for the rest of your life, after they have knocked on your door, if that ain't solicitation, where did you go to law school? Well, that kind of scared them, I guess. And when you threaten to sue the Mormons, oh shit, that's the first thing, the only thing that really Mormons are scared of is public relations and courtrooms and juries and standing up there and beating up little kids and old ladies and men. They don't want the world seeing them do that. So when you threaten the Mormon Church, they usually back off legally. So, they teach you you're going to be kicking against the pricks. You are going to be deserving of living in a hell on earth and a hell after the earth. Because you've left us, you're in control, you didn't let us bring you into the celestial kingdom. Well, I don't want to go to your celestial kingdom. Now, here's the beauty. Here is the beauty of this damn cult. I left I wasn't offended. I wasn't drinking. I wasn't smoking. I wasn't having an affair. No one hurt my feelings. I just think the doctrine is shit. You know, I think Joseph Smith is a pedophile, and I think that Brigham Young wanting to kill anyone that marries a black goes a little too far for me. I don't want my name associated with that. Well, they hope and they pray for your destruction. They hope you get sick and that you, like Job, you get all these blisters on you and your life is terrible. Well, maybe I'm the only one. And again, I can only speak for David. I'm not ahead of a group. I'm not trying to convert anybody. I've got nothing to sell. I don't get any money. I don't give a rat's ass who looks at these videos. To me, this is therapy for me to stay out and be out of what's damaged my life, that cult. So, I leave. And of course, that breaks up a marriage, which is usual when someone leaves the Mormon church. You're taught as a married person that you're to leave your spouse and then shun them because they're evil. They're evil. Well, of course, you go through your depressed period, and oh my God, you know, I've left the church, and look, you know, I'm having trouble with employment and this and that, and all of those subliminal programs start popping. Oh, maybe I should go back. Well, I love my little girl. She used to play soccer with me, and she hates me now, and she won't talk. And my grandkids I can't see. There's a lot of suffering. There's a lot of emotional pain and suffering. There always is coming out of a cult because you gave them your heart, your spirit, your mind, your money, and when you find out it's a fraud and a fake, that's hurtful, very hurtful. Well, I went through my period there thinking, well, I don't know, maybe they were right. I am dog shit now that I'm not a member. And they won't help you. They won't help you. Now, you can't use the welfare program. You can't, you know, you either come back in, and you know when you come back in, you have to take the lessons again. You might have been in the church 50, 60 years, but they're going to give you the 6 missionary lessons again, or how many there are these days. And you have to be rebaptized, and then a general authority comes down. Not a specific authority. They never have specific authority. They're always general. And you get the restoration of your blessings because what they bind on earth is bound in heaven. There's their doctrine and their philosophy. Well, I felt bad. And I thought, gee, you know, maybe I am kicking against the pricks. And then I began to realize I was kicking against pricks. They're real assholes. And so I thought, well, I was on the computer one night. And I was kind of looking for someone to go dancing. I was on the ballroom dance team at BYU, and I'd see if I can find a girl that'll go out to dinner and go ballroom dancing. And I happened to be hitting mormon.com or Mormon, you know, kissmyass.com. I don't know what it was, but it's all the desperate girls that need priesthood holders. Well, it happens that I hit the Filipino site. Oh my gosh, I never saw 500,000 beautiful girls pop up on the screen with the biggest smiles in the world going, you know, I want to marry an American. I went through literally hundreds, maybe thousands, and reading their little transcripts and who they are and what they want and that kind of thing. And I found 3. I found 3 that seemed to be appropriate to me. I maybe could be their friend. So I wrote to all 3, and I basically said 3 or 4 words. I says, do you want to talk? That's all I said. Send it out to all 3 girls. Well, 2 of them didn't. 2 of them go, no, I don't want to talk. I'm not even going to respond. You're too fat. You're too ugly. You don't have enough money. Screw you. Okay. God, I am kicking against the pricks here. Well, one little girl wrote back to me and she said, well, you know, I'm really kind of curious. I would talk with you because you seem to be so inundated in the Mormon church, and yet you don't seem to be active or feel that it's the truth. Well, that opened a conversation. Here's a girl thinking, I'm thinking, and a long story short, I flew to the Philippines. I met the girl, I met her parents. I lived there for a little while, and I adopted 2 little girls in the Philippines. So I think they were 4 and 8 years old at that time. I still have them. They're 13 and 8 now. And I went to the Mormon church in the Philippines, which is a piece of shit. The building, the white man builds his buildings very, very nice, but the brown people, they get shit. Well, there's another tape on that if you're interested in it. So I immigrated back to the United States after I married her in Butuan city in Mindanao Island. I was running from the Muslims, but in between my spare time, I was there to marry her. And I immigrated back into the United States. Now, she's 23 years younger than I am. I'm 64. I don't know, she's 40 now or 41. I think she was 37 when I married her. We've been married 5 years. Well, here I come back to the United States with a Filipino wife that weighs 103 pounds. Now, you know, my ex-wives, one arm on my ex-wives weighs 103 pounds. This girl is younger, she's skinnier, she eats rice, and she's highly intelligent. She basically graduated from college in the Philippines. And gee, the Mormons all looked around and go, hey, wait, he's supposed to be kicking against the pricks and he's sleeping with a child. He's robbed a cradle. Yeah, you guys were wrong. So, well, it's a lucky shot. It's a lucky coincidence. That's what the Mormons say. Okay. So the poor girl doesn't speak real good English, and so she takes some English classes, speaks excellent English, and now has a job, full-time job. And she has a 401k that she shares with me, a stock option plan which she shares with me, and sick time up to kazoo, off time, and 2 weeks paid vacation per year where we just kind of travel around and enjoy. And I said, you know, I don't really have nice cars. She said, don't worry. She bought 2011 cars. She looks rich. The Mormons go, oh, he can't do well. Look, he's riding in a new car. He's enjoying himself. He has credit cards again. He's supposed to be dog shit. Jesus, punish him. We're suffering. He's enjoying his life. Well, I didn't have a great place to live. I was renting apartments, and my wife said, hey, you know, can you teach me to buy a house? And I go, well, I know a lot about it. Okay, I'll try. FHA decided to take us. I'm sitting in a fairly new house. It's only a few years old. It's got an open balcony, 3 bedrooms, office, fireplace, vaulted ceilings, patio that looks out onto the ponds. The Mormons have gone bullshit. What the hell is Jesus doing? Lying to us? Well, last November, and I'm recording this in October of 2011, last November I had a quasi-heart attack. I didn't really have the heart attack, but I was getting blockage, and I went to the hospital, and they put in 2 stents in the right side, and then exactly a year later, almost to the day, same pain on the left side, and so they put 3 stents in there. And the Mormons are going, see, Jesus has heard our prayers. He's 64 and he's dying. Thank God, literally. Thank Jesus. The apostate is being punished. Well, a year later, now I have 3 years, they looked in and said, you know what, you need quad bypass surgery. And I said to the doctor, I said, gee, am I going to die in this? Because I'm an atheist, and, you know, I'd like to make peace with the atheist God. He goes, I don't know. He says, probably not. You're so young that basically if you were 90 and I was doing this, there's a good chance you might not survive. Okay, let's go for it. And the Mormons and my ex-wives are just fasting and praying. Take this man into outer darkness. Don't let him make these videos. It makes us look like idiots. Well, you can see what the atheist God did. I'm pretty healthy. I come up, you know, 4 flights of stairs to come up and do these and go down them 6 times a day to pick the kids up and take them to school and over to Walmart today. I gotta go. So, when the Mormons come to the end of their road and they say, gee, this guy didn't get the punishment that Jesus promised us he would get. Well, now the Mormons have the circle. The circle, if you've seen the Fockers, which this is going to be old now, you know, the circle, the family circle of love, whatever it was. They will say, well, he did well. But we've been told by revelation, the devil pays well. So if you do good, the devil pays well. If you do bad, see, he's kicking against the pricks. If that ain't a perfect cult, believe me, folks, I've never seen one. I've never seen one that's more perfect than that. If you leave the Mormon church, yeah, if you've been raised in it and you've been in it for a while, your whole family's there, and you're probably going to lose your family. You're probably going to lose your self-esteem and your self-respect. And most human beings do not want to pay that price. I understand that. I'm not judging anyone. I hope no one judges me. I find that there's some of us that, and I say this about myself, that are moral enough to go, you know what? I don't want my name on that church. They hate blacks. They hate brown people. They spend the people's money and they don't account for it, and they ride around in black Cadillacs and Lear jets. They're not helping the poor. They've got a $5 billion mall downtown. That money should have gone to poor people and the kids I saw in the Philippines. You want your name on that? Keep your name on it. I'm not trying to tell anybody, leave the Mormon church. I'm trying to tell you how I feel, what my eyes have seen, what my ears have heard, how I've been treated, and if you see any similarities, great. If you don't, like I've always said on my videos, throw the damn thing in the trash and go out and pay your money and go to the mall. I don't care. I'm happy. I have a good life. My kids are doing well in school. My wife and I get along well. She's still a Mormon. I'm an atheist. We've learned how to work that out. I have friends. I have health. I've never been healthier after quad bypass. I was in a damn wheelchair. I was in a wheelchair, electric wheelchair, a little jazzy. I used to go around in because I was so damn tired I could hardly get up the first flight of stairs. Now I take the kids to school. I go shopping in Walmart. I used to wear the Walmart little cart, the handicap cart. Get out of the way, get out of the way. Cripple coming through. I can walk Walmart now. And I can go on picnics and go up to the canyons and enjoy walking and going up to park resorts and whatever. So the devil has paid me well. And if he pays this well, in the afterlife, I want to be with him. Because I've been with the Jesus Mormon. He's an ass. He's a father that doesn't pay child support. He's the king of all universes, and he lets his children die. He knows what medications they need. He knows how to protect his children, and he doesn't. He's too obnoxious. He's too absent. He is silent. And if you think the Mormon philosophy is we're being tested, then I hope you don't think any father on the earth should pay child support, pay for his children, protect his children, take them to school, feed his children. If Jesus doesn't do it, why should we have to do it? That's not a father. A father takes care of his kids. A father loves his kids. And a father would go without himself for children to have things. One of my daughters said to me quietly, when I first adopted her from the Philippines, I said, you seem to be fairly healthy for a Filipino child, and your sister has typhoid. I'm going to get her out of the hospital, which I did, and she lives here now with me. Why do you seem so healthy? And she bowed her head, and quietly, she was living with her grandparents, and she said, well, Dad, when we ate and there wasn't enough food, Grandpa would take his food and he would push it across the table to me. Whoever's listening to my voice, that's a father. That's a father. And when I was laying in the hospital minutes before my surgery, I thought to myself, gee, maybe it'd be better to be dead. I'd be out of misery. And then I thought about my kids, and I thought about that great-grandfather, little tiny Filipino man, never had a pot to piss in, never had anything his whole life, and all he ate was rice and dried fish his entire life. And he pushed that across the table with him being hungry to now the girl that is my daughter. Don't tell me about your Jesus, Mormons. Don't tell me about testing our children. I have talked and interviewed many, many fathers, and I've asked them this question. Would you teach your children to love you by disease and starvation and hopelessness and poverty? Not one father, good or bad fathers, said yes. That's a good idea. I will accept and love the child if they can withstand the most brutal test. If you want to believe, like the Mormons, that this down here in this world is a test, and that Jesus really loves us, watch their lips. He loves every person. We're all equal. Well, some are more equal than others. No father would test his children according to the Mormon doctrine and their plan of salvation. And when I read those things and saw those things, I resigned. And I kicked against the pricks. Like I said, they were bishops and stake presidents and general authorities at the beginning. But now the pricks kind of go to the side when you threaten to sue them and say, I want to live my own life. I'm happy. I have air conditioning. I have a refrigerator that's full. I have a brand new car. I can go out there and drive anytime I want. The devil pays well. The devil pays well. It's a lie. The Mormon Church has basically no effects upon us. We think that it did. We were trained that it would be disaster to leave the Mormon Church. Well, you know, they bear their testimony. I can bear my testimony, can't I? Isn't it free agency? My testimony is the Mormon Church cannot cause you misery, darkness, and a failed life. Once our mind turns on, we go, oh, you know what? I'll get some more education. I'll go here. I'll try this job. And we go. And gosh, we suddenly have vacations. We have nice homes. And we have new cars. And we have children that are doing well. And they say the devil paid well. Well, you know what? Here's what I'm going to say to the Mormons. Screw you. You tried to ruin my life. You robbed my childhood. You've broken up many of my marriages. And basically you have made me miserable. You've put me under such stress, hatred of groups of people, the blacks, the polygamists, and now the gays. You've always made me hate. And you mostly caused this heart disease in me. Now, I'm going to be honest. I've had some candy bars. I've eaten some cake, you know. The camera puts 80 pounds on you, you know that. I'm going to take responsibility for my section. When are they going to take responsibility for their section? Never. I'm going to ask the question and I'm going to answer it. Never. This heart disease that I've got was from stress and antidepressants that I took because I was so unhappy in the Mormon Church. And I've said to you on other videos, Utah has the highest rate of addiction, illegal addictions to drugs. I'm sorry, legal addictions from doctors giving drugs, mostly to women. They're so happy they're going to have thousands of babies in heaven. They're going, God, give me some Valium, Prozac, over here, over here. Number 1 in prescription drug. Number 3 in the nations, blimps. Oh, I'm so fat I can't even get into the soccer van. But I'm happy. I'm going to pay all those babies to my husband to be in the celestial kingdom. Bankruptcies. Number 1. Why? Oh, we don't want to work. We've been wearing a suit for 2 years and we're 19 years old. We're going to sell Amway. We're going to sell Nutrisystem. We're going to sell the pyramid this and the scam that and the Ponzi this. We spend a little time in prison. Doesn't matter. We have $8 million when we come out. I didn't want my name on that. And when I saw that $5 billion mall going in there, and I said, you know, guys, hey, I saw those starving kids in the Philippines. I even adopted 2. What the hell have you done? We throw them some breadcrumbs, and we don't even give them fresh water in their chapel and stake center because it just costs us too much. Let those old ladies be thirsty. Let those young mothers breastfeed. That's what they should do. They should ever be able to mix a bottle, and the water will kill you in the stake center. You will not die if you leave the Mormon Church. You will have some difficulties because you're going to have some deprogramming from a cult, and many of the structures and the pillars of our lives were with the Mormons. We have to put those structures and pillars back together. So I wish you luck. If you stay in, pay your money, go to the mall. I don't care. I'm telling you with my own ears and my own eyes what they did to me. No one else. I don't belong to any groups. I don't make any money. I have a little camera and me sitting on my couch in my house and telling you the truth about me. If it's not your truth, gee, you know, go with Jesus in the top celestial kingdom, have millions of babies, the wives are all pregnant, and the men get to screw as many girls as they want. Boy, there sounds like a good church to me. Send the missionaries to the door. But they don't tell you the rest of it. They don't tell you the rest of what you're going to pay as a human being, emotionally, physically, and mentally, to produce in a cult that says, be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father in heaven is perfect. You can't be, so you're going to be inundated with guilt. You're going to be inundated with fear. You may never be good enough. Jesus, when I'm at the door, the book of life, he'll open it and it'll be alphabetical and my name won't be in there. I got it. And you'll have a heart attack like I did. Anyway, I get emotional about it sometimes, but I have a good life. I enjoy my life. I love my family, love my kids. And if I can be of any kind of service or assistance to anyone else, I hope I can. Thank you very much.